Welcome back to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life, the podcast. This is Life Coach Myrna Young, and you're listening to 5-Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. Today, I want to teach on the topic of blooming minds, transforming garbage into flowers. So let me ask you a question. When you look at a beautiful flower, are you aware that it came from garbage, compost? If nature can transform garbage into flowers, then I think that we can also transform the garbage in our minds to something beautiful. What is the garbage of your mind? We're going to look at depression, anger, jealousy, unforgiveness, greed. We can go on and on and on. All the negative emotions are garbage in your mind because guess what? Garbage in, sometimes garbage out. But we want to transform the garbage in into flowers that smell good. So what are the flowers? Positive thinking, positivity, happiness, joy. Those are what we will be calling flowers. So, all right. So in the tapestry of life, there is a profound lesson hidden within the bloom of a flower. Have you ever paused to consider that beneath the vibrant petals lies a humble origin, garbage, transformed through the magic of compost? It's a compelling metaphor for the human psyche. So in this 5-minute segment with Coach Myrna, I want to explore the art of turning mental garbage manifested as depression, anger, jealousy, envy, and unforgiveness into the exquisite flowers of personal growth and resilience. Join me in a journey of self-discovery as we delve into the transformative power within, illustrating how our mind, much like the natural cycle, can yield beautiful blooms from seemingly discarded thoughts and emotions. So number one, I want to look at the compost of the mind, recognizing your mental garbage. To cultivate the garden of the mind, it's critical to identify the weeds. Depression, like invasive vines, can strangle the vibrancy of your thought. Anger and resentment, akin to thorny bushes, they hinder the growth of compassion. Acknowledging these mental pollutants is the first step toward transformation. And guess what? You know when it's garbage because you don't feel good. Garbage is stinky and dirty and nobody wants to be around them. And when you have that kind of aura, no one wants to be around you either. So you can recognize if you are behaving like garbage or your thoughts are garbage because people are going to respond to you just like they respond to garbage. So recognize the first step. Number two, you got to cultivate the soil. When you're composting or when you're gardening for roses, you got to do something with the soil. And that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to cultivate the soil, practices for your inner fertility. So just as a gardener tends to the soil, nurturing it for optimum plant growth, you can cultivate your mind through mindfulness and self-reflection. Embrace meditation, mindfulness exercises, and journaling to create the fertile ground for positivity to take root. This mental composting lays the foundation for personal growth of resilience and emotional well-being. You got to give it sunshine. You got to cultivate the soil. You got to water it, right? And basically, how do you do that? By transforming your negative thoughts with positive ones, or I should say, replacing them. When you have a negative thought, when you're depressed, depression can't flourish with gratitude. So there you've got to replace them. There's work to do. You don't just wallow in it because guess what? Nothing is going to grow in your soil that you want anyway, right? So cultivate the soil. Your inner fertility is very important. Number 3 is the alchemy of forgiveness, turning unforgiveness into blossoms. I love the word alchemy. I love the book, The Alchemy. I love the word alchemy because alchemy is transformation of lead into gold. So, hey, this is your gold. Blossoms, right? Because that's what you want, the fruits of the Spirit. So, unforgiveness is a heavy burden, a dense material in the compost of your mind. Yet, through the alchemy of forgiveness, transformation, guys, you can transform this weight into the blossoms of compassion and liberation. Explore the power of letting go and witness how forgiving others and yourself can be a catalyst for a personal metamorphosis. Yes, forgiveness, very, very, very important. Number 4, the seeds of gratitude. Did I not say a minute ago that depression can flourish in gratitude? Just be grateful. The seeds of gratitude nurture your garden with positivity. Planting seeds of gratitude in the fertile soil of your mind can lead to a garden flourishing with positivity. Cultivate an attitude of thankfulness or an attitude of gratitude, watering it with appreciation for the small joys of life. You don't have to be grateful for anything big. You can just be grateful for breath, for life. My goodness, for food, for the toilet that's flushing, for a light, for a stove to cook on. All these things people take for granted, but you know, when you don't have it, you will recognize how thankful you should be to have it. Okay, so as these gratitude seeds sprout, they overshadow the mental garbage, creating a radiant landscape of resilience and joy. You plant your seeds of gratitude, you're going to get some flowers. You're going to get some joy, right? You're going to strangle all that thorns and all the weeds and all the stuff that's trying to squeeze out your joy. Number 5, pruning negativity, trimming the weeds of jealousy and envy. That's just 2 of the negative thoughts I'm going to talk about. But, you know, there is a gamut of them, right? Just as a skilled gardener prunes away unwanted branches and weeds, you can trim the negativity of jealousy and anger and greed and all those things. Recognize these emotions and consciously choose to focus on your own growth rather than comparing yourself to others. By pruning away these toxic thoughts, you make space for the blooming flowers of self-confidence and contentment. You know, everybody's dreaming for more. But one of the rules of manifestation is you've got to be grateful for where you are now. You got to be happy for where you are now. You want more, but you're grateful for where you are now. So that's contentment. So in conclusion, the dance between the discarded and the beautiful, the transformation of mental garbage into flowers is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. You can do it, guys. Embrace the process of self-cultivation, acknowledging that the compost of your mind holds the potential for extraordinary growth. As you tend to the garden within, watch how the once overlooked weeds metamorph into the vibrant blossoms of personal evolution. May your journey be adorned with the colors of positivity, resilience, and the enduring beauty that arises from within. Yes, You want to see flowers. You want to bloom. You want to have the aura of a flower. You want people to say you're sweet and beautiful and gorgeous. And all those accolades can't come when your mind is full of garbage. So this today was me teaching you how to transform your mind into something beautiful by just looking at it as a gardener and getting rid of the weeds. First, you got to be aware that they're there. And once you're aware that they're there, look at the steps that I have just outlined and transform your mind so that you can transform your life. Because nobody wants to be around stinky garbage. They want to smell the beauty. They want to smell the flowers, and they want to look at the flowers, and they want to be around the flowers. So that's my wish for you today. So thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 5-Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. I hope you were inspired. If you're listening to this on iTunes, would love for you to hit the subscribe button and also leave a review. If you're watching on YouTube, would love for you to comment and as well subscribe. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, namaste.